Yo, have you ever wondered how you can passively invest in a fix and flip? How does that work, right? So, here's an example. You have money sitting in the bank, it's sitting there dying. Dying. Literally, that's what money does in the bank. It dies. Think of money as little workers, right? And let's just say you have $100,000. So, you have 100,000 little workers, and they're sitting in the bank looking around. They're bored, they're drinking beer, smoking weed, just having a good time, not really doing anything useful, just getting wasted every night. So that sucks. But what if you take those $100,000 or 100,000 little workers and put them to work? Give them all a shovel, give them all a drill, give them all some sort of tool, and get them working. So that's what you can do, and you can invest in, anything really. But for this example, let's say a fix and flip. So how does it work, right? So you find someone like me, for example, that has experience, crews, and deals. We'll do one for apartments and rentals. This one's just for fix and flips. My sticky note fell down with my hints. So how does it work? So let's say, like we said, you got your 100K, 1,000 little workers, and you pretty much would let the person doing the fix and flip borrow this for, I don't know, let's say a year. And for that year, you would get, I don't know, let's just say 8%. You're completely passive. You send the money, and at the end of the year, let's just say, if it would take that long, which it wouldn't ever take that long because I don't suck, or anyone doing it shouldn't suck. It shouldn't take them that long to flip a house. But let's just say you get 108 back at the end of the year. Ideally, someone that's good can do these things in like 2 to 3 months, or 3 to 4 months. Even quicker. But let's just say by the time you buy it, by the time you get guys in there, by the time you sell it, let's just call it 3 to 4 months, right? So that would mean at an 8% return, and I'm just making these numbers up. If they can do it 3 or 4 months, that means you could make 24 to 32% in a year off that 100K, right? So your 100,000 little workers can maybe have another 24 to 32,000 little workers to hang out with for next year, and then you got 124 or 132 little workers going to work next year, right? So that's the cool thing. The little worker analogy is pretty cool. And I don't want to say it's safe, because you're not supposed to say that, but as you loaning the money, you do have some advantages, right? You always want to make sure you're first position on the mortgage, right? So what that means is the person buying the house is buying it cash, right? So you as a person, and the person that is borrowing the money from you should know all this. But you as the person lending the money, you should be in first position on the mortgage. What happens is if anything happens, the mortgage, the contract breaks, something happens, you're like the bank. So you get paid first. That's what it means to be first position on there. And then you also have a promissory note. And on the promissory note, it says the terms, right? So it says that for the 100K that you loan out, that you would get X amount in interest, you would get at the end of the deal, or however you structure it. There's like a million ways to structure it, but that's kind of the two things you could do, right? So hopefully that made sense. I didn't plan on talking about little workers, but I hope that made sense. But yeah, so if you have a bunch of little workers sitting there in the bank, get the beer out of their hands, get the drugs out of their hands, give them a shovel and a drill, and get them to work so you can make more little workers. And, literally, if you think about it, you could probably do this math by yourself, but if someone can flip that money and give you that 8% return, let's just say they can do it at 32%, you can pretty much double your money in, I didn't do this, but 2 to 3 years. I don't know exactly how many deals, but you could double your money really, really fast, which is sweet, right? And money that's sitting there doing nothing anyway. Like, what's the bank paying you on it? For real. Nothing, right? And they're making a shit ton of money off of it. That's the crazy thing. But anyway, so that is how you can passively invest in a fix and flip deal, right? You loan someone the money, and you want to make sure that they do it safely, right? So there's a mortgage in place, there's a promissory note. Sometimes there can't be a mortgage. Make sure there is a promissory note, so that way you know, do get your money back, and you're doing it with someone that you trust, not some greasy dude, you know, some fish oil salesman. Yeah, fish oil salesman. Watch out for those guys. But anyway, you have a great night. Let me know if you have any questions, how to passively invest in fix and flips. And yeah, hope you have a great night and a great weekend.